All right, we are here. 2.4 hours of Le Mullets. We've got all the homies here. Everyone's here. Mullet life. It's really crazy to see everyone in one place. We had a really fun hangout at Cletus' house last night, and today's race day. We got this guy who's going down. He's a loser. Oh man, that is great. Where's my car? Oh, it's right here. So it's me and Kevin from KSR. Kevin wanted to go second and finish the race, and I was like, okay, whatever. But it's like everyone is finishing the race. Like Garrett Cletus finishing the race, James finishing the race. Like all the people that raced last year are finishing the race, and I'm starting the race. So I'm a little sad about that, but yeah, car looks like a nice unit. We are gonna apply some decals. All right, so here's where we're at. We got fluorescent wheels that didn't come out very fluorescent. Painting the mirrors fluorescent as well. I was going for a blue and fluorescent combo deal, but the paint, not ideal situation. So we're gonna paint the roof blue and maybe do some racing stripes or something. So I got this logo printed just for the car for this race, just to have something to differentiate the car so I could see it. So it's my logo and then my name, pretty basic.
Mr. Ray.
You like it?
Wow, killing it, dude.
I'm excited. We gotta figure out what else to paint on this Johnny. Well, we didn't spend as much time decorating our car as we did getting it set up. So last time I had a lot of trouble with the seat situation. We were pretty rushed. I jumped in and I just could not get comfortable. And the problem was my helmet was hitting the headrest. So we gutted the headrest so it's a little bit further back, and that allowed us to basically angle the seat up a lot more like you would be in an actual race car, and I think it's gonna make a pretty big difference. I actually feel pretty comfortable in there right now, whereas last time I did not feel comfortable at all. Confidence inspiring driving position, not laid back like this. So, and now we can really cinch the belts down and we should be good to go.
Plus being located between the...
Oh yeah, and we located them between this because last time they wanted to slip off my Hans. So we spent a lot of time on getting the seating situation figured out, and it's definitely seemed like it's gonna pay off just as far as being more comfortable and confident in the car. So I'm gonna be doing qualifying and then first stint, and then Kevin's gonna be doing second stint. So in my group, biggest threat, Alex Bowman, he's a NASCAR driver. He went out and went faster than any of us had. We got the rival in my race making his first test laps. Oh, he's already got it figured out. Woo! Coming in hot. Oh, it's out of gas, that's right. Forgot about that. He did like a 19.6 and a couple 19.7s, and I went out, I was able to match his time. So that means we should be able to keep up with him unless he gets way faster. So, yeah. Dude, look at.
Oh my goodness.
Look at it.
Dude, that is sick. That's badass. Dude, that is awesome.
It looks exactly like you.
It does look a lot like me. Yeah, you know, my eyeballs popping out, and
I seen that happen once, and it presented it at fourth on the bank.
oh, I thought you meant when I drove Ruby.
Oh.
It happened then for sure.
Yeah.
Eyeballs gone out of my head. I'm sad I don't get to race with you, James. I don't get to race with anybody
I know, but
because of this guy. This guy wanted to go second.
You know what I'm looking to see?
What?
Out of you is you apply the pressure to go pressure, and I want to be surprised if towards the end you come around.
I'm hoping my strategy. This is if I'm nose to tail with him. Strategy is to just chill and let him use his tires. He's too smart for all this. And then pass him towards the very end, like when there's a few laps left. All right. It's clearly against the rules to do any weight reduction, but a couple people took it upon themselves to do some weight reduction. And one of those things, someone starts doing it, everyone starts doing it. Look at all this Crown Vic interior parts. So many interior parts. Everyone is gutting their car. I personally don't think it's gonna make as big of a difference as just the difference in cars themselves and driver. All right. We have Alex here. I'm hoping it's going to be me and him in the front of the pack. Yeah. And the plan is, I've already told him, I'm not going to try to race him. Towards the end, if I'm behind you, I'm going to try to pass you. But the goal is to just work together and check out from the pack. So just so you know, I'm not going to be dive bombing you or anything, at least at first.
I might move you out of the way if I have to, though. Like, if I get to you and you're holding me up and I can't get around you clean, I'm going to have to do it dirty.
Wow, did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? You heard it. You heard it here first. So when he pushes me out of the way, we know. No, if you're faster, I won't hold you up too hard. Anyway, it should be fun. I'm going to do my best. Hopefully I can qualify us high enough to start in the front, but we'll see. So let's go drive. All right, we are the next group up for qualifying. Yeah, like I said, just got to send it, but not send it too hard. If you get a real tail slide in her, you're not going to be quick. Got the AC on, you know, defog my glasses a little bit from all this freaking humidity. All right, so like I said, with qualifying, I really did want to try to obviously qualify on pole. That, you know, that's always the goal, but I knew the conditions were going to be tricky. I mean, it's night, things have changed. We haven't driven this car yet. And I know that if you push it too hard and you get into one of those big tail slides, it's game over, and it's going to ruin your next lap too, because it's the last turn or 2 turns before the start finish line. So you're going to kill all your speed going across. So we do this little warm-up lap, and there was someone right on my bumper, and I was like, man, I hope I'm faster than them, because like they're right there. But coming into this lap, just full throttle, you got to ride right up on the wall. Like, literally feels like you're going to rub your mirror off on the wall. I turn in, get the car, it body rolls real hard, and then kind of stops rolling. And then once I'm pointed, I get on the brakes hard. And the goal is to basically brake all the way to the apex. So brake all the way until there, and then get on the throttle and not have to get back off the throttle. You want to be as smooth with your inputs as possible. Right up on the wall, down through the apex, on throttle, all the way out. It feels like you're going to run into the wall and then come back down. It's a lot of fun. It's honestly a little trickier than it might seem, and there's a lot more you can do than I would have ever thought to improve your lap time. So it's definitely good fun. I enjoy it a lot. We're coming through for our second qualifying lap. Hopefully we did well. That felt decent. Is this where we go?
Boy, look good. Yeah, until they reset the field.
Okay. All right, boys. We are getting ready to do this. We got the nitrous turned on. Have not used it yet. Gonna see how it goes. All right, so we're starting on the outside. Not ideal. I'd almost rather be in third on the inside, but I don't think Ronnie's starting the race, and I don't think he's done all that many laps. So I think we might be able to muscle our way around him in the first couple of laps while he is getting squared away. However, the car behind him is Alex Bowman, who's a NASCAR driver. So there's that. The pre-race, like I'm always just so like worried about the trivial things. Like, are my glasses in right? Should I run the AC? Well, it helps my glasses, but then the car's gonna get hot. I'm strapped in way tighter than I was last time. I think that should help a bit, because I was flopping around the first race we did, the Freedom 500. Yeah, see, my glasses are already fogging up. All right, so I'm gonna try to keep him as low as I can. Turn the AC off. All right, so coming up on the start here, we've got these 2 yellow lines, and basically, usually that's a box and the leader can go at any point, but basically we're supposed to go by the second line. So my goal is to kind of try to get the jump. Ronnie gets the jump on me. Now, again, I know that Ronnie didn't do the qualifying. He hasn't had much practice. Blake did the qualifying and got the car there because he raced last year. So I know he's going to be a little, what do they call it, wet behind the ears or whatever, going into this and not super confident in the car, not knowing exactly how hard he can push. And I know that that is my time. That is where I've got to take the advantage and I've got to dive in. And then don't get me wrong, too, I have Alex Bowman right there, who I know is going to be pressuring me if I don't put the pressure on Ronnie. So I'm trying to get by him pretty much as immediately as possible. So I get on the nitrous, you can see the light flash, and we have lights this time so you can see when someone's on the nitrous. I try to go down the inside. He kind of gives me some room. Boom, made it into first. Hell yeah. All right, so now my goal is just to try to run clean and pull away. Now, I know that Alex is right there behind me, so you can see I'm running a bit of a midline. I'm not going all the way up to the wall, which is going to be the fast line, because if I do that, I'm leaving the inside open for him to just sling one down the inside. So I'm kind of blocking the line. I'm making my old Crown Vic as wide as the old Freedom Factory. I'm trying to block as much of the racetrack as possible so that he can't get by. I didn't even realize it, but your boy's down on the apron trying to pass me. So it was real tricky with the Hans and everything. It's kind of hard to see in your mirror, so you don't know exactly where people are, and you don't want to just like run up the wall and hit them. But I'm definitely trying to just hold that inside line. Keep my position. I'm in first. I got it in first. I need to keep rolling with it. So I'm cruising, and here I start pulling a little bit of a gap on him, so I can see in the mirror like, okay, there's a bit of a gap opening up. Maybe I can start going a little bit wider, but even then I still don't know for sure that there's not somebody next to me that I didn't realize was there, right? But yeah, so we're just cruising through. Now the line's a little tricky here. It gets real bumpy on the inside, but there's the most grip, and we're already coming up on a lapped car. So we've got a lapped car here. This is 316 speed. So I see them go wide. I'm like, cool, we'll send it down through on the inside there. And then I see a whole nother pack of cars that we're going to need to lap. And mind you, this is only 10 laps into the race. So I'm like, man, this is going to get hairy if we're already lapping people at 10 laps in. What's going to happen at 20 laps in if we don't hit a caution? But I know better than that. I know better than that. I know from the Freedom 500 there's going to be a lot of cautions, and we're coming into one right now. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, I don't know where to go, because I don't know if that guy sees me if I just keep going. I had to get on the brakes. If I kept going, he might sling into me, and then my race is over. So it's always a strategy of that when you're racing, like not putting yourself in too risky of a situation, but pushing it. Well, we're already lapping people. Well, we're in first. The track's so short. I see Alex back there, a couple behind me. We're going back to AC on. It's hot, boys. Yeah, he's okay. I think we've got a lapped car in between us. Oh, Bowman back there. Shoot, man, I had pulled a gap. This is what happened last time. Every time I pulled a gap, I caught up to lap traffic so fast, though. So fast. I mean, that was, I don't even know how many laps that was, like 10 laps in. Also, my nitrous worked this time. That old girl makes a big difference. I only used it a couple times, but just that little bit to get past someone on the straight, oh, what a difference. Like, massive, massive difference. Because it was just like that little bit you need to get like a nose ahead if you're side by side. And the seating position's a lot better now. I'm not falling all over the place. Nice and tight in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this guy high. So that way I can get a little bit of a run into the angle into the corner. I know Alex is going to be coming for me on the hit. I got to be ready for that. We've got a whole straightaway on the restart now. Before it was at the line, but you didn't have much of a run in. All right, coming up on the restart, I know that I have got to get the jump. I know I've got to get the jump on everyone, go right before they expect it. Boom, went right before the line. Got the outside guy, but Alex was on the ball. He was starting in first, which is a lot quicker than staying in second. Bumps me. I'm like, oh man, here we go. I know he is going to be putting the pressure on until I can possibly, if possible at all, pull away from him. And that is the only thing I'm worried about. Protecting that inside line, running my midline, and pulling away from him. Which the two don't necessarily work in unison. You can't really block and run away. You kind of got to pick one or the other. But we're going to try to do both. We're going to try to do both. But he's relentless. He's not giving up. He's got his bumper right up by my bumper every single turn. He's going down on the apron. I mean, this is stressful. This is stressful. It is so hard to try to race as fast as you can to defend from someone like that. And somehow we pull a little bit of a gap on him. Luckily, I can kind of tell in the mirror, I'm like, okay, I've got a little bit of breathing room now. That's good. I can start running a little wider, try to pick up the pace a little bit more, but without leaving the inside too exposed. Because I know as soon as I leave that inside exposed and open, boom, he's going to Lightning McQueen down in there. So we're coming up on lapped cars, which you definitely got to be careful of lap cars. Now, if you're lapping them, you're obviously faster than them by a decent bit, but if they don't see you coming and you sling one down the inside and they turn in and hit you, boom, your race might be over for no reason. You weren't even battling for a position. You're just making your way through the track. So Alex got a run on me through there because I had to kind of let off to go around him. So now that nice little cushion I created is gone, and boom, he gives me a little bump, like a little mini pit maneuver, and I was like, all right, man, I've been blocking this line a little too much. I'm gonna start running all the way up to the wall, and if he can go down the inside, I'm gonna let him go down the inside. I don't want to keep holding him up. That's not fair. I know racing's racing, but I don't want to be a guy blocking people. So I start running all the way up on the wall. Now, the catch-22 of this is, now that I'm leaving the inside open, I'm running the fastest line, the widest arc through the corner, and I'm able to pull away or at least maintain the gap. Whereas before, he was running the fastest line.
Flying through traffic now. Caution. Holy cow, boys. Jeez Louise. Ooh, Alex is a hard boy to race, let me tell you. Oh, who's that behind me now? It's not Alex.
All right, coming up on the restart again. I mean, the restarts will make or break you really in any race, but especially in oval racing. And this one breaks us.
I knew he was going to do that.
So that sounds like a sore loser afterthought, but I did know he was going to do that. He was pressuring me hard, and I'm like, he's going to give it all he's got on the restart to get by me, and you know what? I'm not going to fight him too hard for it. What I'm going to do is just let him get in front. If I can keep up, maybe I'll try to pass him back, but if he just runs away from me, then I was just straight up blocking him, and he can just run away. So my goal now is to see if I can stick with him. Or, I mean, at this point, I got to catch him because he got a decent run on me into that corner, but my goal is to stick with him and work together, as I said before in the beginning, because if we work together and we're just bump drafting each other and pushing each other along, we can pull away from the rest of the field. As soon as I start battling him and I start sending it down the inside and I start blocking him and we're bumping and we're touching, that's when we open the door wide open for the people behind us. Then anyone can just stroll right through it. Oh, look, they're fighting. Cool, I'm just going to go around here. Bye. So it's not really good for either of us. Unless I'm significantly faster than him, there's no huge reason for me to try to pass him, especially this early in the race. My idea was to kind of just cruise behind him, maybe push him if I can to use more of his car, and then, you know, maybe towards the very last stages of the stint, try to pass him when he's not suspecting it, because I've been staying behind him the whole time. So now we're both coming up to lap traffic, and my goal here is to kind of stick with him as close as I can as we get through the lap traffic, so that as he goes down and surprises victim number one, I'm right there for the 1-2 punch to go through with him. And I'm a little too far back for that to work, but luckily I'm able to get by this guy as well. But now, us fighting through the traffic, again, you see the people behind us are catching up now because we're slowed down a little bit by the lap traffic. And if you take a second to get by someone, or even half a lap, right, then the person behind you, and they don't, they can just cruise right through. I mean, that's a huge speed advantage. You had to slow down, they didn't, and you will get like caught and passed quick if that happens. So now you can see Alex is kind of caught back here behind this person, and I'm like, okay, this is giving me a chance to get up on his bumper, and I want to get up on his bumper as quick as possible again, so we can go through together. It's if you got a car that's 2 Crown Vics long, one guy goes through, the other guy should be able to go through behind him. So I'm on the nitrous here to go down the inside, but they are not gonna let me. They're not gonna let me go down the inside. I'm like, oh crap, we're both sliding, touching each other, and I mean, I'm starting to get frustrated because now I'm seeing Alex go off in the distance. This is a lap car, but they don't know that we're lapping them. They think we're racing them. So now I'm getting bumped from behind. I'm like, this is chaos. I gotta get by this person.
Come on, let me pass you. Come on.
I did not have nitrous at the Freedom 500. I did this race. What a difference. Boy, nitrous them down the straight, late break them into the corner, and see you later. We are out. We are out. But then the people behind us get by no problem. That's what happens. That's the difficult thing. So luckily now Alex is still caught up behind another lapped car, which is allowing me the chance to catch back up to him, because that lap or so I spent behind a lapped car, if he had clear air ahead of him, he could have pulled a huge gap on me. And that's the biggest concern and why you try to get past lap traffic as quick as you can. Because if your rival, the guy in front of you, gets ahead of them and you don't, I mean, that's just handing it to him. That's just handing a huge lead to him. So now I'm getting pressured from behind, but they get a little squirrely. I'm not even 100% sure who that is. Maybe side-by-side blog. It's so hard to tell. All these cars look the same, even with all our graphics. I mean, the only one that stands out is Alex's because it's a Chevrolet. So anyway, we hit another caution here, as usual.
Wow, that is exhausting. During this caution, I left the AC on. I gotta try to tighten my belts down some. I am freaking sliding out of this seat. Now I'm kind of screwed though. I'm starting second. Yeah, we're kind of in a bad position here.
So as I said, restarts are critical. I'm going to try to get the jump, but Alex gets the jump on me this time. Again, he was starting in first. I was starting in second. Definitely should have started in first, but I was trying to save the old transmission. The old girl's not going to like to be shifted at redline every restart, but I just would bump a little bit of the nitrous just to get me ahead of the guy behind me. Again, I wasn't worried about trying to pass him because I knew he was going to nail the restart. I just wanted to make sure that I got ahead of the guy behind me, and then I could tuck in behind him, and our plan would go to work. We could cruise away together in the sunset, cruise into the sunset together. You know how it goes. But yeah, so that was really the only goal in the restart, just get ahead of the guy behind me, because if I'm getting pressured, then we're going to battle, and then Alex is going to run off into the sunset by himself, and we don't get to hang out. And I didn't want that to happen. So we're right back on his bumper now. I mean, again, that's the goal. Just kind of stick with him, stick on his bumper. If he's not going fast enough and the guy behind me is pushing me, then I'm going to push him a little more, and I know he'll be able to pick up the pace a little bit more, and then we can both cruise off together into the sunset.
Whew. Damn it, I left the AC on again. Probably turn it off. That's probably not helping anything.
Alright, so another restart. Plan is the same. Don't need to pass Alex, just need to get behind him and not get past. That is the key. So we get the restart. Again, he bombs out on me. I use a little bit of the nitrous just to try to get a little bit ahead and get right behind him. This time we kept up with him a little bit better than we did the times before. And one thing I noticed was that there would always be someone, and it was interchanging behind us, that was pushing real hard. So, I mean, we were pushing, and we were racing, and we were going, pretty quick, but neither of us, you can tell, are squealing our tires. We're not sliding that much. We're not working the cars too hard, because these cars have to do a whole nother hour of racing after we hand them off. So we can't just run them into the ground, otherwise it's pointless. Cool, we might win the first half of the race, we're not going to win the second half. So there would always be someone behind us that would be pushing way too hard. Like you can see the person behind us pushing wide because they're understeering and pushing through the front tires, and eventually you'd see them pop a front tire or lose it or something. So that was just like a factor I think a lot of people didn't consider, is that the car needs to last, the car needs to hold together. So anyway, we were having a blast, man. I mean, I was having a blast. I was just cruising behind him. I was having so much fun just trying to put it on his bumper and get as close as I could without bumping him, without touching him. Rubman's racing, but I didn't want to touch him. I think that's like one of the hardest things, is to run right there and not lose too much speed, but not touch him. And it's cool because we would take different lines into the corner, and I would get on throttle, and it would feel like I was about to run into him, and that's as his car would accelerate, and we just kind of cruise out of the corner together, bumper to bumper. It was a lot of fun, man. I really enjoyed racing him throughout this race. And again, the roundy round stuff, I never thought it would be as fun as it is, but it's always action packed. You're always in the middle of something. You can end up by yourself, but the whole time things are happening, and the track is a 20-second lap. So now we're lapping people, and man, this is intense. When you're bumper to bumper racing someone and then battling your way through moving targets basically, and then they're racing the crap out of each other. So we're coming through, they're racing each other. They don't know we're there. They don't know we're the leaders. They just think we're more people to race. So
it gets chaotic. So I'm still tucked in behind Alex doing the whole 1-2 punch, trying to cruise past people together with him because it's a lot easier than waiting and going by yourself, and I don't want to get stuck. And we've got 2 people still ahead of us, and it's tough when they're just quick enough to where you can't just cruise by them. You've got to actually race them to get by them because they're not that much slower. They're just a tiny bit slower, it seems. But we hit a caution, and everything is going to get reset anyway. So as we came up on the end of the race, they're telling us through race communications, 10 minutes left, 5 minutes left, 3 minutes left. And when we got to 3 minutes left, I was like, all right, I'm going to use a little of the nitrous, just a little bit of the nitrous, and try to get by this guy before the changeover so that Kevin can start in first. That was kind of my idea. So I did one really lazy attempt at it, and I was like, man, this is going to take me getting on the nitrous at corner exit and running nitrous all the way down the straight to maybe I can get up alongside him. So I decided I'm going to wait for the last lap before the changeover. Now we hit a caution, and I thought they were going to send us out for 1 lap, last lap, checkered, and then do the driver change, but they ended up just doing the driver change then because we were already going slow anyway. So I didn't get my chance to pass him, but car is in incredibly good shape. Kevin gets to start in second. I mean, pretty good position to be in halfway through the race.
It was like getting here.
You should. They might tire change. I tried to take it pretty easy on them.
I don't know.
Are they good? Hey, I kept the tires in decent shape. That's not bad.
Yeah, man, dude, that was killer. That was killer.
Oh, that was fun, man.
No pressure on me to keep it there.
All right, we got to ratchet you in tight.
Where's the calm?
The calm is in my car.
All right, this is the start. We got Garrett, Kevin, Blake Wilkie. Come on, Kevin, keep her in second for us. There you go. All right, oh. There you go, Kevin. Get down behind him. Yeah, there you go. Checking out, boys. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Laying on the brakes.
Shout out to Kevin. He is mobbing. Look at him. That's my boy. That's my teammate right there, y'all. My both teammates. Look at that. Where's everybody else? Nowhere near my boy Kevin. That's where. Look at that, dude. That is my boy, dude. Stretching him. All right, so super fun race. It was awesome racing Alex, clean racing. I thought he wasn't pushing it, but he was like, I was pushing it, dude. So that was cool. That was like a cool feeling to keep up with him. And
preserved the car. Everything was good. Kevin got in the car, and I was like, okay, he'll probably take the first few laps to get used to it, and people like Garrett might kind of, you know, jump him on the start, and then he'll work his way back up once he gets comfortable with the car, because it is an odd thing to drive, especially with the stock
I
seat.
had 3 laps.
Exactly.
3 laps.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I drove the Dale truck here on a video, but we were
Driving
being
this
very
is-
careful with the Dale truck. And
This is a different thing.
yeah, I got 3 laps in angst in a Crown Vic before the start of the race, and I feel like I did pretty well for myself.
Yeah, so by the third lap into the second half, where he was still leading, I was like, we're good. And then it was so stressful to watch. I've never watched a race that I could win while I'm not driving. It was so stressful. So stressful. I had to walk away with the last 5 minutes, and then he got pitted. So I don't know, you guys probably didn't see it. Yeah, he got pitted several times. Led the whole race. It was the same exact way it was for me last year. Last year, I was in the lead, and I would pull, like, once we had a few laps in, I would start pulling 10, 15 cars, and then we'd hit the caution, and then everyone groups back up, and the same thing kept happening to him. When it was green, he would cruise away from everybody, no problem. And then the caution and the restart, and on the last restart, he got jumped really hard on the restart, and then somebody pitted him in the turn. We were this close to winning El Camino's. El Camino was my first car. I thought it was meant to be. We were so close, dude. But
Very close, very close.
we did very well as a team, and I think people are going to be, and probably were surprised.
I hope so.
You were killing
Hope
it.
so.
You
Yeah, I
were
hope I made a
killing
name for
it.
myself. Maybe I'll get a few more subs on my YouTube channel.
You
so.
should. I mean, come on, dude. You were freaking shredding. I was like, I've never been that hyped watching some sort of sport. So anyway, gonna go ahead and end it here. It was still a blast. Definitely hurts, but that's part of racing.
Yeah.
And like, especially this race, you have to accept
Well,
that really anything can happen.
if you didn't notice, I kind of missed the celebratory burnouts at the end. I was a little frustrated. I'm not
It
gonna lie.
happens. It
A
happens.
little frustrated, and I'm like, I'm not gonna go out there and do anything stupid. I'm just gonna sit here, and I was actually really gassed.
Yeah.
Like I needed something to drink.
Oh,
bad.
it's so tiring. You get so thirsty in the car. That's why I chugged the water before I went.
Yep.
I was like,
Smart.
hey, can you bring me a water? Because I knew I was going to get thirsty. But
Next time, we're putting a water bottle in the car,
yes,
and then we'll gap the field even more.
right? We're definitely going to be teammates next time if we can.
Yes.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's going to end it here. Super fun time overall. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Goodbye.